live and local. LA Sports Talk.
The home of the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
We call it the LAX, LA Sports Mega Block. Of course, powered every day by LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, where change arrives daily. Let's get to it. Time to get in the air. We're taking off, LA.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Travis and Sliwa has clearance right now.
Yeah! How you feeling this morning, Slee? Happy Tuesday. Happy first post softball.
Yeah.
Not having a sore body day. I woke up this morning for
Feeling
the first.
better.
It's the first time since Saturday morning that I woke up. I'm like, oh yeah, my body doesn't hurt. This is good. Takes me. And by the way, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I just swung the bat a couple of times. I didn't run.
Oh no,
I didn't pick up a grounder.
We know. Yeah, no, we.
No, I like
well
to make
aware.
sure that everybody that maybe wasn't there knew. I wasn't like running down balls in the alley or legging out triples. I just would walk to first base and kind of put my hands on my hips.
You know what
and
was-
I was sore for 4 days. Just throwing it out there.
You know what was not said at any point on Friday? Man, Trav gets to second so quick. Man, the way Trav runs down the line, none of that was ever said.
Well,
that
imagine
part.
if somebody saw me trying. How bad would that be for
No,
my
it's
look?
it's not part of the brand.
No.
Definitely not part of the brand.
Trying in an athletic
Come on.
event? Come on, man. I will say this.
Yeah.
I did try a little bit of pickleball. When we got into our pickleball match against the first two guys, I was trying.
Yeah.
And then when we competed against the other folks here at 710, I was
wasn't really too much.
I was Travis trying. It wasn't like full effort, but I tried a little bit in that.
Yeah, we are communicating in pickleball as if we've been playing together for 31 years.
pretty good.
Got to cover that. Al, you don't even know what that means.
We're pretty good. You play the back, I play the front, and if I can get it, I'll get it. If not, you do it.
Do you want to invest in Bally's or no?
Right? Another Diamondbacks bite the dust. Their TV deal looks like it's going up in smoke. It's there's a lot
Not a
going
good
on
look.
right now.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's
Padres
not a good look. I was just going to
Padres
say.
are the trendsetter.
They were the trendsetter. And if you're in the NL West and you lost Bally's, it's not a good look because if you're anything like the Padres, you just crater. So Dodger fans are looking at this Diamondbacks Bally's thing and saying, hey, maybe they're out of the race.
Dodgers have a TV deal. They're like, hey, at least we got a TV deal that at least allows us to keep getting our money week in and week out, month in and month out. I can't decide if I like the Dodgers being on at 4 o'clock or not. I don't think I love it. I think that I like them a little bit later. I understand that it's 7 o'clock in Baltimore,
Yeah.
but that's not super convenient for me. I need it a little bit later in the afternoon.
All right, but here's kind of the thing. Now I get it. You know, there's it kind of gives you some options because if you decided I'm gonna watch the game at 4, you have that option. If you decided, okay, I'm gonna watch it about 5:30, you have those options. What I'm talking about from there is you just go back to the start.
No, we've talked about this. I don't do that. I can't watch sports on tape delay. I can't watch.
Is it because you're going to know the score?
No, I just know that that's not happening right now, and I know that whatever it is, like at 5:30, it would be in the say 5th or 6th inning.
Yep.
Like, and I'm watching the first. That's lunacy to me. Like it's in the 5th inning. Why am I watching the first inning? Doesn't make any sense.
Because
I
you
have
were
to jump
out
forward.
doing things.
No, it doesn't. No, I will.
You were busy.
I will jump in at the actual time. I
At
can't do
5:30, you were at Costco.
it. I did go to
I saw
Costco
some
yesterday.
dude. No, come on.
I did.
Nah. There was a guy, I forgot to tell you
Got
this.
grapes, delicious, big, the thing of green grapes. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I always have a
Fantastic.
difficult
Ice
time.
cold?
I always have a difficult time. You walk into that, basically the cooler, the ice chest, right?
Yeah,
Walk
it's a good
into
time of year
there
for that.
And then you got. It's a tough decision for me. I usually go purple. I usually go
Both great.
I usually go with the purple grapes, but sometimes the green ones just look amazing. So
They're a
then
little
I'm the
crunchier,
only one
typically.
standing there, as if it's the biggest decision in the world.
You know what you do?
Get both.
Well, you can get both, sure. But if you're just deciding one of the, because at Costco you got to buy a lot, right? So
Yeah.
you're buying enough grapes to last multiple days. Try a few green ones, pretty good. Try a few red ones. The reds are a little
No, you
riper.
can't try 'em.
Of course you can.
No, you can't try.
You're one of those people that
Yeah.
tries
try
it,
'em, bro. You can't try 'em.
samples it.
Absolutely.
No,
you know
you
what they'll
can't
do
try.
Can't try it
sometimes?
if you're not gonna
like
get
if
it.
the
Yeah,
fruit
you
guy's
can't.
out.
Yeah.
If not so much at Costco, but at like Albertsons when I go there, the guy that's stocking the fruit, we chit chat occasionally. I'll be looking at. You want to try that one? Yeah. He'll got his knife, cut you a little piece. What do you
Okay,
think
but
of that?
that's different. The problem is if you're deciding between the green and the purple,
You got to see which one's fresher.
and
which
you
one's
haven't
riper.
put one of those in your cart. Now, if it's in your cart and now you decided I'm opening up purple, I'm going to have a couple while I'm going down the aisle, what I don't want to see you do is between green and grape grabbing a few, because now I'm going in to grab the green because you didn't end up with the green and 4 of the grapes are missing.
There's an art to this. You don't do it in the cooler section. You put them both in your cart, and then you kind of very surreptitiously take one off and try, the greens are a little better than the reds today, and you just put the reds back as you circle back through.
Okay, I understand that you
I'm not
could
saying
be
you'd eat a whole vine full of them.
completely understand, but I'm not saying that you can't be shadier in doing it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, the principle of it, at some point I'm going to open up.
You're
I'm going
down
to
a
the
grape.
green.
You'll never notice.
I'm going to notice. If
One
I'm missing,
grape, there's 400 grapes in there.
If I'm missing 3-4 grapes and it's over
not
towards the
3 or
front, because
4.
I know you're not going under.
No.
You're not going towards the bottom.
You snap off that little thing that's got, the vine?
Yeah.
It's got like 3 or 4 grapes that you just kind of snap that piece off. You'll never miss it.
Okay, if you snap off the vine, I'm never. There's a great chance that I have bought grapes that you've already dug your hand into.
There is. Thankfully, you're not in the Costco in the Laguna Niguel area.
Are you
Otherwise-
opening up the bottles of wine too and taking
No,
a
that's
sample
not like-
and then put it back and then what? And
God
make a
created
choice.
grapes to be sampled. That's why there's multiple grapes on one thing, right? It's not like it's a hamburger where I take a bite out of it.
Or
and put
opening
it
a
back.
box of cereal, trying
No,
some
that's
cereal.
sealed. These things they're right there for you.
What
There's
else
a reason
can
the
you?
bag opens.
What else am I suspicious of people like you that are grabbing at
Grapes
the
are the
grocery
best
store?
example of it.
Like nuts too at the grocery store.
No, because
you
all
can't
this
really
is
do
packaged.
nuts.
All that's
Yeah,
packaged.
Yeah, and then the strawberries are too big, and there's only a handful in the little plastic
Bananas?
little basket.
Oh no, he probably. If it wasn't for the tape on the berries, there's a good chance you're opening up the berries
like the
and having a
blueberries.
few. Yep,
Yeah, but they're taped shut.
they're taped.
The
Why do I feel like that's not going to stop you?
No, I'm not. No, because then it feels like you're crossing a line. Because the grapes are not sealed.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
They're basically inviting you to
Let's
try
get
one.
something clear here. You've already crossed the line by sampling the grapes.
Yes.
That line has already been crossed.
Not really.
At that point, you might as well say, "Look, if I stole $100, what's $200? If I steal $200,
I'd want to make sure
Get
that the
that tape
merchandise
off,
is fresh.
couple
But they're not
berries.
taped. No, you can't break the seal. There's no seal. The bag is open. The bag of grapes is open.
Yeah.
The plastic bin of grapes, you just pop the top off and take 1 or 2 just to check.
So just so everybody knows, this was not a plan for us to bring up
You're
the grapes
like genuinely
in the grape
disturbed by
section.
this. Yeah.
I wonder if more people are like you, where they're stealing a couple grapes from other citizens, other good Americans out there. This is news
Hey,
to
for
me.
all I know, by the time I've gotten it, several other people have gone through it and decided to go green, and I got the reds, and I'm a couple short of reds.
Just
All
one
works out.
stem left.
You gotta take the stem away, Slee. You don't leave the stem. In
Yeah,
the
but everybody's
package.
been coming in and breaking off a
It's like-
piece
like
of
2
that one
grapes.
grape.
It's fine. That's what they're there for.
Okay, there was a guy at the Sunset Room, and some good listeners, cool listeners, talking about the show and everything else. The guy is wearing a Kirkland sweater. I'm like, you don't think I'm going to talk to you about Travis and Costco? He's like, no,
a
I know.
Kirkland branded.
Just Kirkland signature. I think that's exactly what. Is that what it
You know
is
who
when
that
they sell?
Was his name Emmanuel? Because
I'm not sure I got his name,
my
but
friend
yeah.
Emmanuel, who was handing me beers throughout the game.
Oh, it
had
must
on
have
the
been because he was
Kirkland-
at the softball
Yeah,
game.
That was
Yes.
Emmanuel.
And right when I saw him, I'm like, you're just gonna assume that you and I are not gonna have a conversation about Trav living at Costco?
Yeah.
We had a conversation.
Costco's
about
a
it.
pretty good spot. Good grapes. Good fruit. Got to buy a lot of it. You got to
Yeah,
let it
there's a lot of
ripen
fruit.
on the counter.
Yeah.
So do you do the thing where you can go to the grocery store, you can get 2 ripe avocados and eat them that day and the next day?
Yeah.
Or you could go to Costco, get a bag of avocados for the same price.
Yep.
You got to wait a week for them to get ripe, and then you're not even going to get to the
Yeah.
10th and 11th avocado before they start to rot.
Yeah.
But it's the same amount of money.
By the way, this is Costco talk. This is how we start every show.
Which
Costco
one do you
talk.
get?
Here's the issue.
Because it starts fights in my house.
Here's the issue. Financially, it's smarter to go for the bag, period, right? We all understand that. The problem is, A, if I'm buying avocados, I'm probably in the process of wanting to use them sooner than waiting a week.
Yep.
And B, there's always a bad one in the bag.
Yeah.
There's always a
But
couple.
there's like 12 of them in the bag.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go pick a couple, one or two that are ready, one or two that are a further, I got a couple days to figure it out. And I'm probably just going to go do that. Now, I'm not going to go get the one that's like 2 for $5. Who's going to go get 2 avocados for $5?
A lot of people.
You're right. I guess apparently a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit less on that. It's the same thing with lemons. You get that whole bag of lemons.
Half of them rot. You don't get to
Yeah.
them enough, right? I'm with you. I'm going to start. We'll get the big. No, it's the same price. I don't like throwing them away. I'll just eat them in the store next time.
We should do a live broadcast
eat
from
them
Costco.
like an apple along the way.
By the frozen section.
And we're
Why
basically
are you guys
what is
putting us
today?
by the milk and the eggs?
Today's July 18th.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's not like full hot. That's August and September in LA.
It's been pretty. I
it's
mean,
getting
West
warmer.
Covina was.
It was hot.
Yeah.
There are fewer places that are more refreshing than the cooler at Costco on a August day. Then you go in there. Air conditioning in Costco, generally speaking, pretty good.
Yep.
But you go into where the eggs and the milk and the butter and all that stuff is.
You're staying for a little bit.
You just hang out there for 5 minutes, enjoying everything. And just
I do
pretty
Zoom.
nice.
I do Zoom calls in there.
it's a pretty good spot. I mean, find me a better air conditioning spot than that exists that isn't
Okay, the only
expensive.
The only other one would be some of these like liquor stores that have
The beer cave.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The beer
You-
cave.
You open up one of those bad boys, you go in, and by the way, the door shuts right behind you. I'm like, am I locked in? You get a little nervous.
Hey, if you're going to go out, you're going to go out in a room full of beer.
You're going out in a room full of beer. But those liquor stores that have that space, it's a nice little spot on a cold day or
that
on a
is
hot
good-
day.
Not a lot of places have those beer
No.
caves anymore. Those are harder to find.
No.
Like if you go to like sometimes a Bevmo or one of those places will have it. But
Some
not
gas
some-
stations have them now.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen them like in Chevrons.
You got fancy gas stations in your neighborhood.
Damn,
Bunch.
fun.
You're the one who lives in OC.
They have gas and
Jeez.
peanuts at my gas station. That's about it. And water. And cigarettes and lottery tickets. I think that's all that they got in my gas
And
station.
one Tiger's Milk that's been there for. It's been there for
Has anybody
months.
ever bought one of those?
I bought it. Yeah, I bought it before.
You were a Tiger's Milk guy?
Yeah, I bought
What
those
is it?
before. I don't know. It's like a protein basically
bar.
a protein bar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I haven't bought one in years.
Why does
Probably
it have
not.
a tiger on it?
I don't know.
Why is the
It's a
word
good-
milk on it?
It's good
Like
branding.
it just doesn't like that. That's a. I know what you're talking about. I've seen
Yeah.
the brand, but like that just
That was
sounds
kind of towards
oddly
the bottom.
unappetizing.
You know? It's like Fig Newton.
Fig Newtons are good.
Tiger, those are good. Wow, those are very underrated. I feel
They are.
like.
Have you ever had a strawberry Newton?
This is awesome.
Have you?
I have. I think I have. I'm not sure if I have.
They're
but
pretty
just,
good.
Just where we're going right now is amazing.
Strawberry Newtons are good. Figs are the number one Newton, but a strawberry Newton is a strong second spot. Just letting you know.
We went from the taking a couple grapes off, and we're going to close out the segment with Tiger's Milk and Fig Newton.
Strawberry Newton. Should try to get you a sleeve.
It'd be amazing.
I want to say there might be a blueberry Newton out there somewhere. There's multiple varieties of berry Newtons that do exist. Ohtani did Ohtani things last night and just kind of brought it home all over again. And the Angels did something that is genuinely hilarious to me. I'll tell you what it is next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Mason, Ireland.
Mason and Ireland, today at 1 p.m. after Travis Lee.
I was in a boxing match years ago.
Celebrity one?
Some preacher from Long Beach challenged me to a fight. And in a stupid moment of recklessness, I said, sure, let's do it. But that guy kicked my ass.
I believe you because you would do something stupid like that.
I majored in that.
Because
Mason and Travis and Sliwa
on 710 ESPN.
Big E in the Travis Lee community says that this explains the grapes and rotisserie chicken left in the dog food section. No, I don't leave it somewhere else. I put it back where it belongs. I'm not just eating half of a rotisserie chicken and leaving the bones in the paper towel aisle.
Well, if it's anything like the grapes, you would get the rotisserie chicken, you'd put it in your cart, you grab one wing, you close it, and you'd eventually put it back.
Well, if I'm going to...
Because it's the equivalent.
Listen, no, the chicken's a little different. Like if I buy it, and by the way, I don't buy my rotisseries.
It's also piping hot.
At Costco, they're too big. The bird is too big.
Yeah.
You need to get a little bit of a smaller bird. That's a topic for another day.
No, that's not normal.
They're almost like turkey sized. They're
I know.
Gigantic.
No, don't get me wrong, they're juicy.
But if you get the one at Albertsons, for instance, and you're going to buy it, you can eat the leg, but then just pay for the rest of the chicken when you're done, because you're not buying it by the pound. It's just the $7 for the bird. There are rules that I've decided work for me. Maybe not for everybody else, but they definitely work for me.
So you are comfortable with going down one of the aisles, okay? You're already buying the chicken, so you've already invested. You're not grabbing a leg and putting it back like you are the equivalent of the grapes.
Yes.
Okay. So you've opened it up, you've ripped out a leg. Now is the string, because the string is always a problem. Is the string in the I don't know about the Albertsons chicken.
Okay.
The problem with the string is they're using the leg to keep everything in
together. Yeah.
So are you now in the cart?
It's a very good question.
Tucking the leg in, moving the breast up, moving the wing to the side so that you could get the string off, and then you have a leg.
So it's a very good question.
Thank you.
The legs, I have untied the string on those chicken legs so many times I can do it in my sleep. It's literally, you go from the, if you really want to know, you go from, so the legs are pointed at you.
Yep.
The breast is towards, and the legs are pointed at me.
Yep.
If you put your finger through the backside and just kind of hook it around, the whole string comes off like that. So you don't have to get in there and really like wrestle with it. It's like, look, I'm not trying to be, when you learn to just, at first you try to unhook certain things, it took you a minute, and then it's like, boom, got it.
Yep, 100%.
It's kind of one of those
you
situations.
grow your confidence, you're using one hand now,
Yes, exactly.
right? And then the audience might be like, wow, that was impressive.
It's exactly like that.
Okay, so you're using one hand to remove the string. The string's now out of the way, so now it's an easy pull for the leg. So now I'm going to go back to my original question.
Okay.
My original question is, are you going down Albertsons in aisle 6, one hand pushing the cart, and the other one just straight up eating a chicken wing as you turn the corner to go to the next aisle?
So not a wing, a leg. Because
Or a leg.
A wing
No,
underneath
leg.
is much
Yes.
harder to get to.
Yeah, and that's a lot of work.
Sure. I mean,
So-
I don't do it frequently, but I've done it.
But there have been times where you've made eye contact with people where a leg is
You're asking the right questions.
where a leg is in your mouth as you're going down the aisle.
I will. So where they are, I like to go away from the traffic, but obviously the traffic goes two ways in
Sure.
a grocery store. But if it's a high traffic, like if it's Saturday afternoon and the place is packed, not going to.
You're not going to do it.
If it's 3:00 on a Wednesday and the place is kind of empty, and I think I got a pretty good chance of getting down that aisle,
You're rolling the dice.
I'm going to roll the dice. Yes, exactly right.
God, that's awesome.
I was hungry. Look, this is especially with the intermittent fasting that I've stumbled into a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't get back till home till nearly 3:00,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes there's not going to be something in the house, so I'll swing by the Albertsons, and you walk in there, you get the scent of that rotisserie chicken. It's like it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Am I
right
asking
now.
for too much? Am I asking for too much? That one of these days where this is happening, you just think of me for a quick second. Stop the cart for just a second. Use your left hand. Take a photo of just a
do it for
chicken
you.
leg
Yeah.
bit in the middle of the cookies
I'll
aisle
do like
or
a
wherever
Henry
you
VIII.
are.
I'll put it in my mouth. I'll take a picture of it with it in my mouth.
I appreciate you.
You're done. Maybe I'll even do it for you
I
today.
freaking appreciate you.
Angels win last night, and they won because I want to start with this.
Okay.
Ohtani is a great player. I don't even want to get into. Let's just talk about Ohtani strictly as an offensive performer for right now.
Okay.
Let's forget the fact that he's also one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Just Shohei Ohtani, the designated hitter. He had a home run in the 9th inning on Saturday to spark what was a come-from-behind win. He had a home run in the 9th inning on Sunday in what ultimately was a losing effort.
Yep.
He comes up to bat last night in the 7th inning. They're trailing by 2 runs, And Aaron Boone, for the Yankees manager, goes out to talk to his pitcher. And you can tell they're having the, hey, what are we going to do with this guy? You don't want to put the tying run on base this late in the game, but it's also Shohei Ohtani up there. The second Boone walked back and you realized that the pitcher was going to pitch to Ohtani, he entered a level that I've only had with 4 or 5 baseball players in my life. You knew he was going to hit a home run. It wasn't a matter of, hey, I wonder if this will. It's like, no, you just did the thing you can't do. You just put the best hitter on the planet
with a chance to
tie the game. Well, what happened? He hits it over the center field wall. He does an epic bat flip that's just awesome. It was an incredible display of emotion for him, who's pretty stoic typically. But Al, he entered that point. I've seen it with. I wrote down the list.
Okay.
The ultimate example of this was Bonds when he was Barry Bonds was like, "Oh, you're going to pitch to him? Okay, get ready."
Bonds would get walked with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Because they were down, or they were up 3 runs, and they're like, "Okay, well, if we walk him, then we're only up 2." But Bonds is
Bonds
gone
off the board. Right.
Even though the rudder now is moving the second.
Bonds is the ultimate example of this.
Yeah.
Bonds was in that group. Albert Pujols at the peak of his powers was, he's going to hit a home run here. Mm-hmm. Mark McGwire, when he was locked in, he's going to hit a home run. And Mike Trout and Ken Griffey Jr., both for periods of time
had moments like that.
Ohtani has ascended to that point, and I kept coming back to this. And he hits the home run. They tie the game. The Angels end up winning in extra innings. How many of these moments have we missed with him? How many of these moments have we missed, not because we didn't see them, but because they never existed? The Angels are in a pennant race with themselves right now. They're in a pennant race that expires in 13 days, a race against the clock where they need to find a way back in this playoff picture in the next 13 days. It's put an incredible amount of pressure on them in the last few weeks or so. And he's game, Slee. He, just like in the World Baseball Classic where he's doubling off the wall, striking out Mike Trout, just like the All-Star game where he's pitching and hitting. He's so game for these big moments that we haven't had any of them because the Angels stink. How many awesome Ohtani moments have we not had because he hasn't been on a good team? It just hit me like a sledgehammer last night that we need to get him on a good team, even if it's not the Dodgers, which I want. Can we just put him on a team that matters? Because those moments are so cool. They're so rare, and that dude's going to deliver them more than anybody else.
Here's the problem with him delivering right now. The problem with him delivering right now is Angels won the game yesterday because of Shohei, right? They won that game, the 13-12 game, I think it was on Saturday, was because I know there was a lot going on, but partially because of Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
So I every time, if you remember about a month ago, I kept wasting my energy of saying, I want to see them get in. I want to see the Angels get in. Don't trade them. Hey, look at where they are. They're in that last wild card spot. They're only this far away from the division. I want to see Shohei Ohtani have a playoff run, and if it's with the Angels because they made it this year, cool. The problem right now with winning a couple games here and there, you're going to tell me the way you saw Shohei Ohtani last night, the way you described it.
You knew he was going to hit a home run.
You knew he was going to do it. What do you think Artie Moreno was sitting in the side saying, guys, maybe there's still a chance here. Maybe there's still a chance that we get to the postseason. Maybe we're starting to turn things around. I'm going to trade Shohei. Look, this guy is, every time you tune in to any sporting event right now, if I said go watch any athlete in the world, Shohei's going to be on a very, very short list. I'm going to trade him. Every time they win, I feel like, and he does what he does, there's a little bit of Artie Moreno, I'm sure, questioning what he does not want to do, even though it's the smart thing to do. Now I'm the other way. I'm like, Angels lose every game so we can get Shohei to a different team immediately.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more at the last part of that. Because think about this. Give me what and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think this is going to illustrate the point. When you think of Ohtani, what's the signature moment of Ohtani's baseball career? Do you think, just off the top of your head? Don't give it too much thought.
World Baseball Classic.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Was it him doubling to win, or was it him striking out? It's just, that was the moment. Mm-hmm. What's the next biggest moment that you remember with Shohei Ohtani? Because I think for me, there's a clear number 2. It's him participating in Home Run Derby at the All-Star game and then starting on the mound the next day and getting a hit off of Clayton Kershaw, right? It's those moments. Give me your favorite Ohtani memory as a member of the Anaheim Angels. Anybody?
No.
Right? This is my point. The moments that made you go, damn, look at this dude. They weren't even with him wearing or they weren't in a game. The most moment where he won a game last night, he did win them the game.
Yeah.
But it's a middle of July game against the Yankees that kept them a game under 500. There are none of those moments. And when it happened last night, I just kept coming back to the same thing. How cool would it be if instead of it being a silly game against the Yankees, where the Angels probably aren't going to make the playoffs, and even if they do, they're not going to make any noise, and he's going to leave.
Yep.
And nobody knows what I'm trying to describe better than Ohtani himself. He's built for those moments. In the few that he's had, he's showed up and delivered, and they're not available on the Angels. And they can lie to themselves like you're talking. Well, we're going to keep him. We're going to find a way in. He knows. Never mind what Artie Moreno thinks. Never mind what Perry Manassian thinks or Phil Nevin thinks or any of those guys. Ohtani knows those memories aren't abundant in Anaheim, and he wants them because he lives for them, and they're not coming here, and he's leaving. So why not get something for him?
Man, it would be so disappointing that by the time we're at October 1st, he's done again. Right? Like just his season ends. And whether that's with the Angels, even if he got traded, there's no guarantee or lock depending on the team. Maybe it's a team chasing a wild card and they don't get in. I'm just saying in general, not to get those moments with Ohtani in real postseason. And like you said, there's something about he's built for the moment.
Seems to be.
There's certain guys that can elevate their game. They could take their game to another level when the pressure is at its highest.
Can you think of a time where he's had – I'm sure he's struck out with runners and scoring, but I can't think of a time – and maybe it's because they don't have any important games where it's like, oh, man, I can't believe he did that.
A big moment?
A big moment where he gave up a big home run or he struck out or had a bad at-bat or did something he's like, really? Because it happens. Look, Mookie's had bad. Freddie Freeman, Clayton Kershaw's had clunkers. It's because they're constantly in important games. With Ohtani, they don't exist because he never plays in real games. And not because of anything he hasn't done. We know he's about that.
Yeah.
It's deeply frustrating. It just hit me like a ton of bricks last night because it was – and by the way, he loved it. Did you see his bat flip?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
It was 100%. Just terrific that this guy feels that he's feeling it. He wants to win. Boom, flip it. Let's go. And then they'll probably lose tonight. And they'll probably lose tomorrow.
Not probably. They will. They will lose. They just will. That's what happens with the Angels.
All right, so
Padres didn't lose yesterday.
They didn't play.
But
hey, look, they held.
They will lose tonight.
They did lose a half game to the Dodgers, but at least they didn't
lose tonight.
They didn't lose a game. So if they do move him, where does he go? And is there a worst case scenario for the Dodgers? That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. What do you do if you are hurt in an accident? Scary, right? Your car's banged up, you might be injured, and you're not quite sure what to do next. You call Sweet James, 1-800-9-million. That's what you do next, 1-800-900-0000, because not all accident attorneys are created the same. Sweet James has been awarded Best Attorneys in America, and personal injury, it's all that they do. Their own time, money, energy, resources, expertise into strengthening your case so you get the maximum compensation coming your way, right? Sweet James knows how the insurance companies work. He used to work for them, saw that they weren't doing right by their customers, and now he's making sure that you get your car fixed, you get your medical care taken care of, and, of course, that settlement. He's collected over $1 billion in settlements in his nearly 20 years career. That is more in 1 year than most places make in their entire lifetime. So if you're hurt in an accident, do what I've done and call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. 1-800-9-million. 1-800-900-0000 and sweetjames.com.
This is Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Slee, I provide a very specific experience for our listeners occasionally. For instance, this is from Duvel. It says, there you go again, Trav, making me reminisce. The Strawberry Newtons at the Navy Exchange in Guam were fire. You were probably in 7th grade then in 1985. In 1985, I was in the 8th grade, Duvel. But yeah, look, these are the things. Whether it's a Strawberry Newton or whatever it is, I can bring you back to those things that probably don't even exist anymore that make you go, yeah, those are pretty good. Glass of milk, something like that with a Strawberry Newton.
I think what brings me back, it's like the cereal has a lot of that. If I go have
yes.
You know what I mean, Lucky Charms or something like that, or I'm having I think I've told you before, Kix was always at that, Cornflakes was always that. If I have a bowl of any of those, by the way, the Cornflakes I've already told you, like all the sugar I'm adding on top of it, because you have to add sugar to already sugary cereal. That takes me back like I'm a kid. That's the one that gets me.
We never got the sugar cereals very often. That was a special treat.
Yeah.
We would get the Rice Krispies, you would get the Cheerios, kind of the regular things. But if Mom went into the Sugar Smacks aisle, it's a big day.
Did your parents give you grape nuts?
My mom ate grape nuts, so they were in the house. And sometimes that's all there was.
I grape nuts.
They're okay. It's like a bowl of sand.
No, it is a bowl of sand.
And
sometimes I'm okay.
Unpleasant
And sometimes
sand.
I'm okay
It's
with
okay.
it. Yeah,
it does
almost
provide.
Try to put some sugar on it when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Almost takes out like a
Got some dental work.
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
It provides a service.
Sometimes
you need grape nuts.
Yep.
Sometimes you need what grape nuts provides.
It's not a bad tagline for them. Sometimes you need grape nuts. It's like a certain look, and then it fades away.
Guy just looking at you like, you know what I mean.
Yep.
That definitely works. Crypto Ray, my favorite Ohtani moment is going to be when he goes to the Dodgers. Yeah, I think that's potentially true. Brian, do we have the thing from Eric Karros yesterday? Can we play that again? Because Eric Karros on the Game of the Week over the weekend was talking about he thinks Ohtani's going to leave. He thinks he's going to go to the San Francisco Giants, and here's what he had to say about it.
He's going to play in the postseason. He has to play in the postseason. The Angels need to trade him. If they don't, they're doing a disservice to the organization. Now, you want me to take it a next step further? Who's he going to be playing for? He's going to be playing for the Giants.
Whoa.
That's who he's going to be playing for.
Mr. Dodger?
No, I'm just telling you, that makes all the sense in the world. They have the wherewithal to do it. Then they get him for a couple months to try to court him so they could sign him for a free agency. It makes all the sense. And you don't think that the Angels wouldn't want to trade him to San Francisco to spite the Dodgers? Come on. This is drama.
All right. There's 3 things in there, I think. Number 1, that you're doing a disservice to your fans if you don't do it. Number 2, he thinks he's going to San Francisco. Number 3, you would do it out of spite to jam up the Dodgers up the street. Plaschke wrote about this morning. I mentioned it to you yesterday. This idea that the Dodgers and Angels are rivals is ludicrous. They're not. The Dodgers have been good for a very long time. They're going to be good next year. The Angels have been bad for a very long time. It's likely that they'll continue to be somewhere between mediocre to less than that for a while. They don't have a ton of crossover between their fans. They're in different spots of town. There's not like you're a fan of both of these teams. They're not rivals. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to get the best possible return on if you're going to trade him.
Yeah.
I want to whatever I'm selling, I want to get the most for it. I don't care whose money it is. I want to get it from those people. Put that aside for a sec. If Karros is right and he does go to the Giants, there's some speculation that the Giants don't have enough to get a deal like that done, but put that aside also. Is that not the worst case scenario for the Dodgers, that he lands in San Francisco on a team that's pretty good, that would also have a great deal of interest in him long term?
Before we do that, I think that the question of Angels not making a trade with the Dodgers, we'll go back to that for a quick second. Who's making an argument that they're rivals? Because I don't think anybody thinks that they're rivals.
You might be right. Maybe not rivals, but that Artie looks at the Dodgers as his rival for customers, for attention, for eyeballs, for ink, whatever it is, that he views them as somebody that he's competing with for reasons that are only apparent to him.
I'm going to go back to something that I think this just happens when you're the big bad wolf in town, all right? Let me just use that as an example. The Dodgers are not that much different than what the Lakers are to a lot of other NBA teams. And I think that the Portland Trailblazers view the Lakers different than they view the Suns. The Suns view the Lakers different than they view the Sacramento Kings, right? That there are a lot of teams out there that despise the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to go back to the Dodger side for a quick second. The Padres, I know, don't like the Dodgers. The Giants, I know, don't like the Dodgers. Arizona Diamondbacks, I know, don't like the Dodgers. I know those are all in division.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But the Angels piece of it, I'm not telling you it's right that Artie Moreno's saying, well, I want to trade him. I just want to make sure. You and I were joking around about this. It's like, okay, it's my girlfriend's leaving me.
Mm-hmm.
Can she not leave me for the guy that lives one street down to the right? If she's going to leave me, can she just go to Colorado and end up dating some guy so I don't have to see them at the same grocery store or anything like that? Whether we like to admit it or not, if Shohei is a Los Angeles Dodger, Southern California is all Shohei, period. And I know Dodger fans are everywhere, but whether you're in Anaheim, you're in L.A., you're this, you're that, you're going to see Ohtani's jersey everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ohtani's going to be all over the news all the time representing the Dodgers. There's probably a good chance that they'll obviously be in the playoffs, and Shohei is going to be a key piece of getting to the World Series and maybe making some noise.
Sure.
They're right down the street from each other. You might not look at the Angels that way, but I guarantee you Angel fans look at the Dodgers and say, I don't want to trade Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers.
I'd be curious to hear what Angel fans have to say about that, because I hear you, and I guess it makes sense, but I just don't feel it. The Dodgers are not in the Angels' way. The Angels are in the Angels' way.
I don't question that.
The Dodgers are not the reason the Angels have been bad for 11 years. The Dodgers
100%
have
agree.
nothing to do with that.
100% agree.
If it's straight jealousy because they happen to be in your neighborhood, right? I don't understand it. Like, the Angels' rivals should be the Houston Astros. The Angels, the ones that they should not want to trade them to are the Texas Rangers, because you're going to have to go deal. The Dodgers play the Angels, 5 times a year, 6 times a year? It doesn't matter. I get that they're nearby and you might have to see it occasionally. They're not in your way. The way that you get your Angel fans to stop worrying about Ohtani is to go get Will Smith and James Outman, Bobby Miller, and Emmett Sheehan and bring them down to Anaheim and start winning some damn games.
Well, they're not going to do that either way. They're not. I'm sorry. They're not.
But it's just so stupid to me because they happen to be 40 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't do it. They have more assets than anybody else.
Don't you think?
It's ego. It's stupidity.
Don't you think? I'm not telling you you're wrong. What I'm telling you is, I'm sure if you told an Angel fan tomorrow, and I'm not even talking about Artie Moreno, I'm just an Angel fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you said, hey, you have the option of trading Shohei Ohtani, and you can either trade him to the Dodgers or you could trade him to name almost any other franchise out there. And let me just say, I'll say the Seattle Mariners.
Sure.
Let me use the Mariners as an example.
In their division, by the way.
In their division and in the AL.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get more of them.
Then they're idiots.
That they're going to say, yep, trade him to Seattle. I don't want him in LA.
I want to try to explain how stupid of a decision that would be in that scenario. You're sending him in division. You got to go play him 15 times a year. You're going to have to face him on the mound probably 4 times a year. Okay? He's going to...
Should I have done Giants as the example?
He's going to drive a bat down your throat over and over and over again. And you got less coming back. That's stupid.
Okay, how about the Giants? Would Giants be a better example?
What do I get in return? If the Dodger offer is better, then you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Take the best offer. Take your ego out of it. Take the best offer. I don't want to use players because you can argue value.
Yeah.
But if I'm selling my car, I hate your guts. But you're offering me $10,000, and I love Brian, and Brian's offering me $8,000, I'm selling you the car. Sorry, I love you, Brian, but you're 2,000 short. Al's got $10,000.
But I will tell you that
I mean, it's easy to me.
That doesn't happen. Emotions are a part of a lot of it. It's not just a transaction.
I agree. Emotions are a part of it, and that's why they're so bad. And that's why they're perpetually bad, because the emotions keep getting involved in the Dodgers are about as cold-blooded and as tactical as a team. You know who else is like that? Tampa. You know who else is pretty good every year? Now, Tampa doesn't have the wallet to play at the Dodgers level like that, but they make very tactical decisions along the way.
But aside from all of that, really what they just have is an ownership group that knows what they're doing.
Yes.
That is
without the
you can
ego
still have
that gets
emotion,
involved.
you
Sure.
can still have ego, you can still have all that, but they can dot their I's and they could cross their T's, and Artie Moreno is trying to use ink that there's no ink left in the pen, and he's I don't know how to do it.
What if phone rings? Andrew Friedman's on the other end. He said, listen, I want it done. I don't want him to go to San Francisco. Here's what I'll give you Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheehan, Will Smith, James Outman, and you can pick 2 of the other prospects you want. We can do it today.
Honest, then they probably do it because that's a load.
That's what I'm saying. But only the Dodgers haul is going to be better than almost
and then
everybody
all
else.
those players will be bad in a year.
What Tyler Anderson didn't get out of the 3rd inning the other day. It happens. For the Dodgers, just like
who'd you say pitched yesterday?
Oh, for the Angels?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that. I don't want to waste that right here. They do things that are so wildly short-sighted. They had their pitcher, one of their few young pitchers that's getting better, throw 8 trillion
Trying to
pitches
help you
last
guys
night
out
in 5
here.
innings. It was great. All right, we got Hey, Did You See coming up next. Plus, we got some Angel fans that want to get in on this as well. Lots to get to. 877-710 ESPN. Hey, Did You See with Brian coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, Sierra Subaru of Monrovia. I've had the privilege to drive a couple of their vehicles these last couple of months. Had the 2023 Outback, had the 2023 Ascent. Looking forward to picking up another car this weekend from Sierra Subaru Monrovia. But it's not just about selling cars. They do so much for the local community by focusing on the very impactful Subaru Love Promise. Join Sierra Subaru, Foothill Unity, and USC Dentistry as they join forces to provide low-income student dental care. The dates are July 21st through the 28th. Sierra Subaru Monrovia will be donating dental kits to students from the San Gabriel Valley at the Mobile Dental Clinic hosted by Foothill Unity Center. All you got to do is head to sierrasubaru.com for more information. You could visit them before I give the address. It's so important that aside from selling cars, that we're all part of the local community. And I'm looking forward to help out any way I can at Sierra Subaru of Monrovia. Just go to the website, sierrasubaru.com. More info, visit them at 735 East Central Avenue in Monrovia, just off the 210 freeway.
Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that? I saw it. I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see?
Did you happen to see?
It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
What do you got for us today, Bri?
Got a few things for you today. First one we're going to start off with is this past weekend. I don't know if you guys saw the Wiener Schnitzel Wiener Dog race out in Los Alamitos.
I did not.
Pretty hilarious. The video is definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
But, so it was a bunch of wiener dogs, 50-yard race, and the winner got a new doghouse and $1,000.
Nice.
And the winning wiener dog was Beanie Von Weenie this year.
Okay.
And my question for you guys here is there a funny animal that you would see in a race?
So I've seen, like, I haven't been to them, but have you ever seen where they race ostriches?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, anytime. So you've seen that, Al?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. If it's not like a horse or maybe a dog or something that you're used to seeing race.
Yeah.
Anytime you see an exotic animal like an ostrich or something trying to race another, I don't think that they've learned how to do it. They're kind of pecking at each other and everything
well, it's
else.
weird,
it's
too.
Great.
They're fast as hell.
They're
thing.
enormous.
Yep.
And, so I've seen things like that. I'm here for the odd animal race. I'm not going to judge that instantly.
I think I could think of, you ever see some of those camel races as well?
Yes. And they put a person on those camels.
Person on them.
Yeah.
That's always, it might be normal to the Middle East or something like that, but every time I see it, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? That's a different one. That's something that's a little bit unique. Trying to think if there's any other animals.
You know what's weird?
That looks kind of funny.
That just, like in the UK, just like they drive cars on the opposite side of the road, they run the horses in the opposite direction.
Oh, really?
And it's so real. Like if you go to Santa Anita or Del Mar,
Yeah.
they go counterclockwise.
Yep.
Right? In the UK, they go clockwise, and it's the weirdest damn thing in the world. Whether it's wiener dogs, ostriches, I don't know, but they definitely run their horses in the wrong
Another
direction.
weird animals race.
Well, you've seen like frog jumping contests where the first one to get over the line with a number of jumps. I've seen that. I've seen rabbits. Rabbits are fast.
Do you know what? Do you know what's kind of funny they do at some of these games, predominantly basketball games? They'll do when the toddlers race, and you got the parent on the other side, and you'll have kids that are like 1 year old or something like that, crawling, trying to get to, but then they get halfway done. I'm going back. So you just got this like race that will never end. It's a halftime show. The players are ready to come warm up. They're still waiting for the kids to go. Those are always fun.
That's what I thought of when I saw this, because there was a couple dogs that halfway through turn around and start going
I'm
the other
good.
way.
That's great. Wiener dogs are just inherently bizarre looking.
The funniest animal.
Yeah, they're great. Their legs are like that long. It's, it's terrific.
Do you ever see where they show like dogs that are super, super smart? Let's use a German Shepherd as an example. And a German Shepherd, you have all these things. It's got to go through an obstacle, and there's all these. There's food over here. There's this. There's that. There's treats. And the German Shepherd basically does not pay any attention to all the distractions and does the race or whatever. And then they put a golden retriever. He stops at every single spot and is eating.
They're social. They're social dogs.
Yesterday, Josh Allen, Bills QB, was on a podcast, Bussin' with the Boys, and said that the McDonald's Big Mac is the best fast food hamburger. You guys agree with that, or what is your choice?
So it's not my first choice, but it's not a bad choice, if that makes any. Like, if you came in here with a bag and there are a couple of Big Macs in the box in the bag, I'm down. I'll eat a Big Mac. It's the 2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Yep.
It's the real thing. Now,
down.
a double-double is my go-to fast food burger of choice. You can't beat that. Grilled onions, chopped chilies, animal style. That's how you do that. But, yeah, Big Mac's a great choice. It's just not the best choice.
Here's where the Big Mac loses. I don't need the extra bun.
Fair.
So I want I already got them. I'm good. I got the meat. I got the cheese. Like, I'm all in with the Big Mac, but I almost just want to kind of slide out that extra bun there. I don't need that bun. I want to taste the meat. I want to taste the cheese. There's other things I want to taste. I got no problem with a Big Mac, too. I'm with you. But if you said a Big Mac or a Whopper, Well, I don't have an extra bun in there. Give me more meat and cheese. I don't want more
but
bread.
But it's not a Big Mac if it doesn't have the third bun.
A well-made Big Mac is like one of the best things in the world.
It's really good.
Really good. Really. A
good.
fresh Big Mac is like one of the best things in the world.
I am pro Big Mac. I agree with Al that it's a little bit bready, but if it doesn't have the third bun, it's not a Big Mac.
What makes a Big Mac, though? The sauce.
Yeah, the Mac
sauce.
The
sauce. Oh, my goodness.
I feel like there was a point in my life where
Big
Big Macs just got smaller, right? Did they?
I think you got bigger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there was a day where it was just massive in my hands, and the next day I opened up the box. And
I think it's
dwarfed.
a combination of them saying, make it a little smaller. They're going to charge a little bit more.
Everything else has gotten bigger. Why would they make that smaller?
The only thing that's really got, at least for me at McDonald's, whatever used to be their large fries before is now like this.
A small Coke doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
Here's the other thing. So, Funch, you're talking about the Mac sauce.
Yeah.
Are you a regular McDonald's customer?
Of course I am.
I am too.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the Mac sauce on a McDouble,
get out of here.
I've never tried that.
Just let you guys know.
Secret menu item.
Big time. That's like a secret code.
A McDouble with Mac sauce, you're welcome. Just go from there.
And a couple times a year, McDonald's, they will have like something called the Junior Mac or the Little Mac, where they just have a Big Mac basically with one patty.
Yes.
Which is it's good.
It is.
It's all you need.
I need two
sometimes.
McDouble with Mac sauce.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Brian?
Is that like a hand signal to like the like you can't even say it out loud. You just got to be like.
No, they know. They know.
Oh, he knows.
All right, I got another one for you guys. Phillip Rivers, future Hall of Famer, by the way.
Probably.
10th child on his way.
Yep.
So he's going to have enough to finally field his offense. How many kids is 2 kids for you guys? As too many
much?
Kids? Yeah.
I would say anything more than 3 sounds like a lot of kids, right? Where you'll be able to answer this one.
3's a lot of kids.
3's a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, but I when I hear families say I have 3 kids, I don't say to myself, oh my gosh, that's a huge family.
I agree.
2 seems like the right number. 3 seems like, okay, they got... But anytime I start hearing the number 4 or above, I'm like, wow. Like, I don't know why that number I'm like blown away by.
That's the exact right answer. 3 is the last stop on you have the normal amount of kids. 1 kid, normal. 2 kids, normal. 3 kids, normal. You have 4 kids? What's going on over there? That's a lot of kids, right? And 10? I mean, 10? Are you kidding? And my mom is one of 10. My mom had 9 siblings. Okay, so I've been around big families like that, but 4 is the first stop on, that's a ginormous family.
My mom's same way, 9.
She's one of 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was I don't know what. There was, they have one of the reveal parties, right? They have one of those. But this one was a little bit different because they have 6 boys.
The Rivers do?
No, this is just a family, like a random family. I was just watching on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it was. They have 6 boys, and they're doing a gender reveal. You have 6 boys. This is like, I know they're going to have their 7th kid, but this was supposedly like, this is it. We're done. I'm sure they've been saying that for 3 kids.
Just give it one more shot.
It was actually kind of cool because it came out however they did it. It was pink, so it was going to be a girl. And the reaction of the mom was like, I get to actually have a daughter, and it was just kind of a cool thing to see.
There's a video of Gordon Hayward when they did
kids.
a gender reveal because Gordon Hayward has like 4 daughters or had 3
Oh,
daughters.
yeah.
And and another pink balloon comes out. He's like, all right, like here we go again, and not everybody's happy. Just want to healthy and all of these things along the way. This is wrong, but it's mostly right, which is one of my favorite
for the record.
expressions.
Phillip Rivers has 7 daughters.
Oh my god,
2 sons, and we don't know what the 10th child is.
If your first child is of one gender and your second child is of the other gender, your third child has a 50-50 chance of being whatever. If your first 2 children are of the same gender, the odds of your third child being the same gender are something like 85%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a 50-50 shot every time.
Interesting.
Like I said, that's mostly right, but the numbers could be slightly off. But that's basically what that is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I got one more quick one for you guys. The Rays lost last night to the Rangers on a walk-off wild pitch. Is this the worst way to lose a baseball game?
I think the only thing that would be worse is a walk. Balk would be good. But that's usually because the pitcher freaks out, right? I think a walk is worse because
that's good.
In the major leagues, we got to be able to throw the ball over the plate, right? Sometimes if you're trying to throw a really hard slider or whatever,
cute or something,
or you're just trying to crank one, you bounce it, it goes to the screen, and you lose. But to walk a guy, you had to miss the zone 4 times in the big leagues with a runner at third base, bases loaded. Yeah, I think a walk is the worst one.
There was a play earlier this year. I think this is Padres up in San Francisco, and Hader had come on, and there was already 2 on, but he's trying to get out of the bottom of the 9th, and the game is tied, and he ends up walking. And I remember just at the moment, I'm like, just doesn't matter. He gets a single, just throw a strike. It was low and inside. I'm like, all right, that's it. Game's over. That is the worst way.
There are 7 guys out there. It might get hit at somebody.
Yeah.
I see your walk-off walk and raise you. And Greg B. just mentioned this in the YouTube chat. I raise you now because this is a thing. A walk-off pitch clock violation, which we had happen in spring training. Bases loaded, pitch clock violation.
Pitch clock violation.
Automatic walk.
That
comes in.
Awful and terrible, and it would be deeply unsatisfying to be in the ballpark to see that. That's the pitcher's problem. Like there's a clock every 6 feet in that ballpark. If you can't get your ish together in that period of time, that's on you.
Equally as bad the other way, right? If the batter violates,
either way,
the batter strikes out.
There's no excuses. We've been doing this. It would be stupid and awful, but it's whoever did the violation, it's their fault. All right, Dodgers win last night. We'll get back to more baseball coming up in a little bit. We got some Angel fans that want to get in. Would it bother you more to see him go to the Dodgers and to any of the other 28 teams? That's coming up. But I want to go to a little NFL football. See, it's feeling a little football-y season.
Getting close.
And apparently Sean McVay has ruined the running back position. That according to an NFL running back. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
It's Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa.
Oh, but okay. Did you have the little tiger? Remember the tiger? Le Tigre?
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
Apparently there are pig races, Slee.
Yep.
That, according to Capitano Matt, who says, will you be placing bets on the pig races at the fair? I believe the Orange County Fair is going on right now.
Yeah, probably, I think, until August 15th.
Okay. Yeah, that's a preliminary at the OC Fair.
And then it's like, you got to qualify for the Kentucky Derby.
It's the Gold
right?
Cup. It's the Gold Cup that we just had. The championships at SoFi.
Are pigs fast? This is why we need Taylor back. Mm-hmm. Taylor would be able to answer this question.
It's not their speed. It's less to do with
they're slippery, right?
How fast they're out the gate.
Yeah.
It's more they have that like the ability to go sideline to sideline.
Laterally
is where they get you.
I know that sometimes they'll like grease them up and they're hard to get, but I don't. Are they particularly? They have short legs. They
Adult
can't be that
domestic
fast.
pigs can run it as fast as 11 miles per hour.
Guess I'm wrong. I guess pigs are fast.
Yeah, 11's good.
Pigs are delicious.
11's like a brisk walk. Yeah.
No, you couldn't walk 11 miles in an hour.
11 you're going. Yeah, you're
That's
going.
11 you're
moving.
booking. Okay, I can't
Not
picture it.
booking, but I think you're.
If
you're
you
going.
walk really slowly,
I think none of us run, which why we're all confused.
Well, it's like
And
a
still
good,
sore.
A good
And
mile
sore.
pace, right? If you did a mile in
9 minutes,
8 minutes, 9. That's moving.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a mile, 9 minutes. 11 miles in an hour. You're not. It's moving.
So disappointing when you go for a jog, and you look at your phone, you look at your pace, and it says like 11:30. I'm like, Jesus, I might as well just walk.
So
I'm walking. It's going to be 14. I might as well just save the 2.5 minutes.
You're right.
Yeah.
And on the I've done a half marathon. I've done a handful of 10Ks. I did a Ragnar where I ran 22.9 miles in 24 hours. I've done some things. You have to turn off the splits because they're deeply disappointing. I just need to know the distance I'm covering. However, and I know that the math isn't complicated. It's easy to figure out. But you're right. That I just ran that mile in 11 and a half minutes. Deeply dissatisfying.
You ever walking like with like a croissant in your hand or something like that, and somebody is running by you and they have the watch and they keep checking it and they're stopping it and their shorts are super high because that's what runners do.
And then short.
And yep. And because the shorts aren't going to get in their way and they have the proper shoes and everything else. And I'm just eating my bagel or something like that, and he's running by, breathing hard, and he keeps looking at his watch and he's stopping it, and I immediately go the opposite direction.
So
it's discouraging.
I leave the house at almost exactly the same time every day. Within 3 or 4 minutes, one way or the other.
I know where
every
you're
day.
going with this.
There's a guy that's
Sure.
running down the main drag that I'm going towards the freeway, and he's there almost every day at virtually the same time. And it must be at that intersect because he checks his watch, and he's at a full sprint. I think he's an Olympian. I've never seen a faster human being in my life. And he's just cranking along, looking at it. He's probably having a conversation with somebody on his earbuds. Unbelievable. I'm breathing, walking to get a cup of coffee.
My favorite part of the first hour, I want to recap just a quick. You on the rotisserie chicken with one hand, getting the string off, grabbing the leg, and going down the aisle. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of times people will listen to this show or this radio station and be amused by something. How are you not amused by that? Like that's the one thing that
It's a life hack.
I feel like there should have been more response to it, but nothing I can
I've
do.
got plenty of response to it.
Because there's going to come a time within the next day or two, Cousin Slee and I will have a separate conversation about you doing that, and that might go for 10 minutes.
Got a lot of McDonald's secret menu things going on right here. This is from Georgie Porgy. You can have McDonald's make your double quarter pounder like a Big Mac, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, with or without the middle bun. So good. See? You just
That sounds so good.
It sounds terrific. You get
Chalk
creative.
the whole
at a
show.
drive-thru on a wheel.
Chalk the show. We just need secret menu stuff from this point forward.
I'm 100% good with that. When you then you realize that the secret menu stuff is the best, especially at In-N-Out. Like they were the kings of the secret menu, whether it was Animal Style, the chopped chilies, the Flying Dutchman, all of those things.
Are there still a lot of secret menu items there that people don't know about?
I'm sure there are, but the standard secrets, I think everybody knows. Animal
Like, could I get
Style.
chicken nuggets there?
I don't
Nobody
think
knows.
that I don't think they got a pizza oven back there. That take a double sausage and cheese. Yeah, I don't think they.
What
got
that
going
all
on.
natural pepperoni?
Did you see what Melvin Gordon said about Sean McVay? That he killed the running back position. Quote, in my opinion, I think after Todd got paid, and then Sean McVay came out and said, I'll never pay another running back again. I'll just use them and rotate them out. I think after that statement was made, and then I think they won the Super Bowl, it was like everybody just followed suit, I think. I kind of think that's where everything just started going downhill. This is, on the heels of Saquon Barkley did not get an extension yesterday. Josh Jacobs did not get an extension yesterday. Austin Eckler was looking for more money as well. I don't know why this is Sean McVay. First of all, Sean McVay never said I'm never going to pay another running back again. You can read between the lines that the Rams decided to move on from Gurley pretty quickly. But why would I pay a crazy premium for instance, Todd Gurley was the best running back in football for a period of time, and then he wasn't. They go bad really quickly, and the gap between the best guy, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and the average guy is not that much. If I can get 80% of the production at 10% of the price, why wouldn't I do that?
But what happened, I think where I get confused is what happened to the position. Because back in the day, it was, look, your quarterback is your most important position. But there are a lot of times you were winning games or making a playoff run or getting to the Super Bowl is because you also had an amazing, amazing running back.
Sure.
So could this just be one of those times where, not the best example, but there was a time in the NBA where the big man was becoming less and less valuable. And I think right now we're starting to get back to where the big man has adjusted and that big man now can actually hit a 15-foot shot, can spread the floor, and the big man will come back. It's not just a DeAndre Jordan where you just need an athletic big and you could still win a championship off of that. You probably still can. But is this one of those things where in 5, 7, 10 years we'll be looking back and saying, man, that running back position is the way it used to be in the 90s, is the way it used to be in the early 2000s?
It's a good question. I don't think it goes back to what it was in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s where you had the Earl Campbells and Walter
Emmitt
Paytons
Smith
and Tony
and,
Dorsett's.
yep.
Emmitt Smith is a great example. I think what you're going to do is you're going to find more Christian McCaffreys. You're going to find guys that can do both things, that can do multiple things, that are not just going to run the ball over and over and over again. Because think about it like this.
But can I just say
Sure.
this? Let's use as an example. LaDainian Tomlinson was not, I just hand the ball off to LT and I get out of the
McCaffrey.
way. Exactly. I think that's a good example that he was the type of I would think of this because I think back to fantasy when I used to play. Priest Holmes and like you think of certain guys that just dominated
Jamal
the league.
Lewis.
Jamal Lewis, right?
Yeah.
They dominated the league. Is it more
Sean
of
Alexander? It
Sean
wasn't
Alexander?
that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So I just kind of think of, is it, hey, it's just a running back can't be used in the more traditional way that they used to be used in the past.
Well, there's that. They go bad really quick. I'm not going to pay something that I know is going to be half of what it is now 2 years from now. I'm not going to do that. They go bad almost overnight. Sean Alexander is the ultimate. He went from a 2,000-yard guy to, hey, we can't play this guy in a year. So they don't want to buy that. The other thing is, think about it like this. Every rule change in the NFL over the last 10 or 15 years has been designed to do what? Protect the quarterback, to allow wide receivers to have more room. You can't check guys at the line of scrimmage. You can't do this down the field. You can't put your hands here. You can't hit the quarterback below the knee or above the waist. They've made it to where there's no reason not to throw the ball every time. It works better. The offenses are more sophisticated. These are the most important players. It's more exciting. It's more exciting to watch him throw the ball than watch, Cam Akers run into the line of scrimmage. It's just a better product along the way. Every rule change they make enhances the passing game. Offense, yes, but more specifically, the passing game. Why wouldn't you take advantage of those things? And it may swing back. I think your point of
the
centers in the NBA, but think about what happened, for the last 15 years or so. The three-point shot. Before, you need Kareem, you need Shaq, you need Akeem, you need all of these big guys, Robert Parrish, whoever. And now it's, I need some guy that can gun threes. We need a three-point shooter, spread the floor.
Yep.
It just changes, and right now running backs aren't valuable.
NBA used to, part of their rule changes as well was, okay, hey, let's eliminate the hand check. We don't want
Score.
88 to 84 games. We want games that are a little bit more high scoring, this and that. And maybe it's not the best comp, but I could see where you're saying that. Look, it will eventually evolve, and I still think there's going to be tremendous value in the running back position. I think the thing that you said is probably the most important. Can your running back on an audible line up next to a slot or one of these wide receivers and also be a threat like that, like a dual threat?
Think about it like this, too.
And McCaffrey's a perfect example of that.
He's the ultimate example right now. He's the best dual threat. But if your team, your favorite team out there, or you're listening to us right now, whoever your team, if I said to you, hey, you guys got Saquon Barkley. Okay, that's cool. He's good. What if I told you got Justin Jefferson? Right. Like, oh, let's go. If I told you got Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert, let's go. Hey, you got Jamar Chase. You got Tyreek Hill. What? Hey, you got Austin Eckler. Yeah, okay.
But is that like,
they don't use those guys anymore.
No, you're right. I'm referring to it more of like what's a sexy position, and O-line isn't a sexy position. Do you guys hear the Albertson story? Please tell me you guys heard the
and
Albertson
Greg just
story.
come storming in here all of a sudden. What's going on, guys? Christopher?
We didn't hear the Albertsons. We were in a meeting. But I wanted
We were
to tease
also
this.
in a meeting.
I wanted
We
to
were
tease this for
super
next
busy.
segment because there was cheating going on Friday night at All-Star Friday night. It's been exposed now.
Really?
There's been an investigation.
Do we have one individual, or was it widespread?
Sounds like it was widespread.
Really?
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Does it help?
I'm not in
Does
full
Team Mace
agreement
have
with
a?
Rouse here.
Does Mace have a challenge? Do
That's
have
why we tease it, Travis. That's
I
why we
can't
tease
wait.
it.
So should we do it
can't
now or like later?
Let's do it at
I don't want to
2:12,
hear from
2:15.
cheaters looking at me.
Oh, did you
Oh,
cheat,
look at
Slee?
that.
Okay, bring
Let's-
it.
let's just go.
I like it.
Love
I like it.
excuses. Yep,
Slee
let's
with the
get the
cheater
excuses,
coming
yeah.
up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. And to get it done, Grainger offers high quality supplies and